A very good morning. Welcome back to another daily market outlook. My name is Fabio and we're going to be discussing EURUSD and the other major dollar pairs. So EURUSD moved further in towards the downside as explained in yesterday's video, exactly what we expected. Obviously, we were just following the overall order flow. And what we can see is that we tapped in towards this area of supply, and from there we just tanked further in towards the downside. So there was no real area of demand here to our left, hence why we haven't really seen any reversal. What I'm looking for at the moment is for this area over here to be reached at around 1.072, and from there I do expect a potential pullback back in towards the highs. So what I'll be looking at for the rest of today and into tomorrow is after this overextended move in towards the downside, and now the overall corrective price action that we're seeing, we're starting to squeeze with low volume in towards the downside. So what I'll be looking for is a potential long once we reach that area of 4-hour demand, and then start longing euro dollar back up in towards this overall bigger buy before the sell. So that's what I have for EURUSD. Very simple but effective, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Not going to be looking for shorts anymore after this massive overextended move, and as we are nearing demand over here. Obviously, it will be a temporary pullback, at least that is what I expect, because overall here, if we look at the daily time frame, remember guys, bearish from this high in towards this low, this was your pullback, and now obviously we expect a new lower low to be made. But as we know, a daily impulse down or an overall daily trend down is like a trend on the 4-hour and the 15-minute time frame. So that is what I'll be looking for on the lower time frames, but the daily is still eyeing up a move further in towards the downside, as we don't have any areas of demand really open or left until we reach this area of daily demand over here. So that is euro dollar. Now moving on in towards the dollar index. The dollar index, guys, did I call it or not? 105 reached as explained yesterday. So very nice to see. Now we've pretty much moved in towards here. There is potential for a pullback as there was a little of liquidity situated above the high. So excuse me, I'll be looking out for a potential pullback for the rest of this week. So where is it likely that the pullback is going to happen from? Well, it is most likely going to happen from around 105, let's say 450. That's where, let's say, the real supply zone starts over here. But obviously we can already see a reaction from, let's say, this liquidity level, and see a pullback back down in towards this overall sell before the buy over here at around 104.727. So keep your eyes open on the lower time frame. See, okay, the 15-minute now at the moment is this ascending corrective nature. If we, let's say, break this low, okay, boom, potential for a pullback at least, excuse me, I'm moving myself, potential for a pullback at least back down in towards, let's say, 104.700. So just keep that in mind. I mean, that is kind of like how I view it. I don't know what exactly is going to happen from here. We could react to the liquidity or not, but you guys at least know what I'm looking for. If we see trend shift on the lower time frame, okay, pull back down lower. If we do not and the trend just continues, then we watch out for 105.450. Now moving onwards in towards one of my other favorite pairs, which is Aussie dollar. So Aussie dollar here on the 4-hour time frame for you moved down lower. Obviously we've respected that overall fractal high as I explained yesterday, so we did indeed move down lower. Now we're in the second time now that we're inside of this area of demand. So the second time is always a little bit like there's less demand left and there's no fresh demand anymore. So I'm now looking for this area of demand to get reached. So that is what I'll be looking for to get hit. That is a demand zone at 0.64589. So that's the next demand zone that I'm looking to get hit here on Aussie dollar. But obviously we could move back up higher, but as long as the overall order flow sustains, because now we've broken this overall fractal low, and you can see that kind of like as a break of structure, that fractal low got broken from this supply zone. So as long as that supply zone holds, we should continue down lower. So I don't care if we pull back up in towards here, potential short to zone 1. There is a lot of liquidity building up kind of like above this descending corrective price action. So if we do break out, then I will be looking for a trend continuation, because the 4-hour is still bullish from this low in towards this high. And then I'll be looking for long. But for now, because demand is kind of failing, I'm not really looking for those longs just yet. I'll only be looking for those longs once we start breaking structure. So that is Aussie dollar. Moving on in towards pound dollar. So pound dollar saw a nice dump yesterday, finally out of that area of consolidation. So yeah, very nice to see, kind of followed the other dollar pairs obviously. So looking at what we have here to our left, I mentioned this many times, we don't have a clean area of demand, and because we don't have a clean area of demand, I'm not expecting a full-blown reversal. So we did in fact push down lower. The overall, let's say, internal trend here is now definitely bearish. Lower low, lower low, lower low, lower high, lower high. A lot of liquidity resting above these highs, by the way. So we could maybe, if we do indeed kind of start seeing some kind of a trend shift, we could maybe see a grab of liquidity above these highs. A lot of people were telling me last week, pound dollar is bullish, pound dollar is bullish. Well, look, guys, we're trading ranges, and that is very different because overall we were just trading inside of this, let's say, big consolidation zone. So we grabbed the liquidity above the zone now over here, and now I am looking to kind of see if we can start targeting the lows once again. Maybe a short-term long definitely could happen, grabbing the liquidity above these highs. Then I'll be looking at seeing on the lower time frame if we are ready for a pullback already. Like preferably you would want to see a 4-hour change of character. So did we in fact break the low? Yes, we did. Okay, fantastic. So that now means that this is currently your fractal high. This fractal high broke the fractal low over here, meaning that if we now see a push back up, that means that this becomes your demand zone, and from there we can then look to long back up in towards the highs, because obviously we expect pullbacks on our way down. So yeah, that's what I'll be looking for on pound dollar. So very similar to kind of like euro dollar, to be honest. Moving on in towards NZDUSD. So NZDUSD tanked down lower beautifully. Guys, we have to be careful now with NZDUSD because we came in towards that swing low, which I highlighted to you guys, very obvious. And we're now coming in with kind of like a corrective piece of price action, 1, 2, and a third low, kind of like this descending channel. So there is potential now for kind of like a further push up. What I would prefer is kind of like one more push down, then a change of character, and then we could maybe look for a long in towards the highs. Otherwise, just wait until we break fractal structure. Fractal structure is currently this black line over here at 0.59854. If we break that high, you could look for a long back up in towards one of the two supply zones over here. So that is NZDUSD, very simple. All these dollar pairs have potential for pullbacks back in towards the highs. So just keep that in mind, but we need to see structural confirmation for that. Now going in towards our last pair, which is gold. There was a big short on gold yesterday, but we've already kind of like reclaimed price again. We sadly just missed out kind of like on this sell before the buy range. Going in towards the 15, you guys know I was looking for structure to get broken over here. And we eventually also broke this area of demand. So we just saw a simple reaction. This became your supply zone, and that is where you could have gone short from. So very nice piece of price action over here. Low, high, and then obviously you kind of get this. So push out, push down, push up, break, pull back, push down. So yeah, some nice price action over there going on gold, but now we have broken this high again, or at least fractal wise. So again, gold is now a little bit messy. I'm keeping my eyes open for now because we should just continue towards the highs. But if the 15 minutes starts breaking back in towards the downside, because this could also just be a liquidity grab fueling a new move downwards, corrective price action. So keep my eyes open to see if this overall order flow just keeps on holding or not. If we start breaking order flow, maybe there is going to be a short back down lower in towards this demand zone with this as your liquidity low. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions, make sure to join Discord and see you there. Thanks.